Good morning, student. Today in theme 11, Rebels and the Raj, we will continue this topic, Awadh in Revolt. Yesterday, I told you about the displacement of Wajid Ali Shah. Now, the Wajid Ali Shah was displaced and exiled to Calcutta. He was so admired by his people that his subject followed him all the way to Kanpur, singing songs of Alman, and there was widespread emotional upheaval at his dethronement, and the contemporary writers observed that the life was gone out of body, and the body of his town had been left lifeless. Folk song mourned that the honorable English came and took the country. So this was the feeling on that time of the people for his Nawab or his ruler Wajid Ali Shah. It means that on that time the people they were love their rulers. Okay, unlike the Nawab Wajid Ali Shah too much. Now we discuss about the displacement of the Talukedar. After uh, displacement of Wajid Ali Shah in Awadh, now the Britishers they targeted the Talukedars. Okay. Now we are discussing about the next topic in your book that was already written, that is already written, Firangi Raj and the End of a World. Okay. Now, under this heading, we will discuss about the displacement of the Talukedars. The annexation of Awadh displaced not only the Nawab but also the Talukedars, the countryside of Awadh. Okay, in the countryside, it means in the villages, we saw that villages were on that time were under the Talukedars. Okay, and the countryside of the Awadh, okay, had many estates and forts of Talukedar on that time. Okay, these Talukedar, they were also like as the Nawabs or the rulers, okay, in the villages. They had held power for generation. Under the Nawab, the Talukidars had enjoyed a fair degree of autonomy as long as they accepted the sovereignty of the Nawab. So they in the countryside, the Talukidar had the more power and they paid revenue of their taluk to the British. Many talukidars had armies of about 12,000 foot soldiers, and even the smaller ones had armies of about 200. So the big talukidars they had the army of the 12,000 foot soldiers, and the small talukidars they had the armies of the 200 foot soldiers. The British did not tolerate the power of the Talukidars. Okay, and they were annexed. They wanted to. The Britishers they were also wanted to annexed and disarmed, and their best forts were destroyed. Okay, so again we see that the Britishers they were not tolerated the power, the love of the villagers for their talukedars. Okay, and they were also wanted to displace these talukedar. The British land revenue policy reduced their power. They introduced the summary settlement in 1856. Again, this point is very important for 1 mark, that which policy, okay, started by the Britishers against the Talukidars. That was the summary settlement in which year? In 1856. It was based on the idea that the Talukadars had acquired the land by force and fraud and thus had no permanent rights over the land. Again, we see that the Britishers putting this wrong, if we are saying that the wrong statement for the Talukadars, this, and they also told that this whole land, okay, you acquired by the fraud or by the force, okay, you had no rights, no permanent rights on this land. They removed them from their power. For example, in pre-British time, Talukadar held 67% of the total number of the villages in the Awadh. But after the introduction of the summary settlement, this number reduces to a mere 38% only. So the land in the hand of the Talukadars, that was also reduces from 67% to 38% only. By removing them, the British thought that they will settle the land with the owners of the soil. So they wanted to reduce exploitation done to peasants. They wanted to increase the revenue returns of the to the state. And for this one, it in actual practices, this did not happen although the revenues increased. The burden on the peasant did not reduce. Now, what the Britishers did, they wanted to that to save, if we are saying, or to protect the peasant. But the peasants were not happy through this system of the Britishers, because the Britishers, they also increase the revenue. Okay, and the peasants, they were also seen as a burden, okay, of this revenue. The officials soon found that there was increase in revenue rate from 30 to 70%, and large areas of the Awadh were heavily over assessed. With the removal of the Talukadars, the peasants were directly exposed to the harsh revenue policies of the British and could not longer avail loans in times of hardship or crop failure. There were no means by which the payment of revenue could be postponed, and upon failure of the crop or other unforeseen situation. Okay, so at the time of the Talukadar, the the peasants, they were postponed. Okay, and the sometime the Talukadar, they were also reduces the revenue. But now in this time, there was no scope. Maybe your crops are failure, okay, or some any other problems. If you are not able to giving the revenue in time to the Britishers, they will never see any type of the compensation, okay, or relaxation to the peasants. The ties of loyalty and the patronage had bound the peasant to the Talukadar, but it was disturbed, disrupted. The British over-assessed the revenue due to the use inflexible method of the collection. Now the peasants in the time too much, they also they were lived in a very miserable condition, if we are saying that. Now the relation between the white and the Indian officers on that time, prior to the uprising of 1857, before the, okay, we are talking about before the uprising of 1857, the relationship between the white and the Indian officer was cordial, and the former were well versed in Hindustani, fenced and wrestled with their Indian counterparts. Okay, they were played with them. Okay, and often went out hawking with them and were thus disciplinaries and father figure rolled into one. Okay, and the Britishers, they also showing as a father figure on that time. But in 1840s, this relationship underwent a drastic change by the British officers considering their Indian Sipahis as racially inferior and riding roughshod over their sensibilities. The grievances of the peasants were also discussed with the Sipahis lines, as most of the soldiers were recruited from the peasantry. Awadh was called the nursery of Bengal army. Okay, the Sipahi also complained about the difficulties of getting leave, misbehavior, and the racial abuse of their white officers. But the white officers, they never bother about all these things. Thus, their discontent spilled over into the ranks peasantry, and when the Sipahis took up arms, they were joined by the peasants. So the relationship which we see, which was very nice before before the revolt of 1857, but after that we saw that a gap was gone in between the Britishers and the uh, Sipahis on that time. Okay, student, thank you.